When it comes to the education of our children, it is one of the absolute biggest misses that we see in America. When it comes to laying the basis, this can actually start much earlier than you think, starting with the budgeting, financials, and kind of the basics of addition, subtraction, money in, money out. These are concepts that even young children can learn and learn incredibly well going into the young adult, even to the mid-adult years. Now, starting with this, guys, in today's video, we're going to be going through budgeting and really teaching children the financial fundamentals, starting with number one, starting early. Now, a lot of the financial concepts can be learned incredibly early. They even said as early as 4 or 5 years old. Young children can grasp the money concepts that we have. Simple discussions, simple activities. How much money do you make? How much did you spend? What things cost start at an early age. Even when you're going out and you're shopping, let's say for birthday parties, when you're shopping for toys, they need to know that there is a cost associated with it and you only have X amount of dollars to spend on X amount of products. This is something, again, very early fundamentally that children can learn. Not only that is the saving aspect, guys. When kids start saving at a very young age, it can actually impact their entire life to build savers, to build investors, to build a financial future for your family and really change the life that they could have. Number two, using real life examples. This is something that is very important. Using real life situations from your daily life, such as planning a family outing, to deciding how you're going to spend the allowance that they earn. Even if you start with an allowance of $1, that is the fundamental, guys, because they will see exactly how far that $1 can take them and the things that it can purchase and the things that it cannot purchase. So again, starting it off early. This is really the time to introduce the income and expenses. Again, when you start getting into the first and second grade, you start doing basic addition and subtraction. For a majority of people, the income and expenses are the exact same. They might have a different name, guys. If you say you have $10 coming in, you're spending $6 on expenses. What do you have left remaining in the budget? That is right. For most of us, it is $4 if we are doing the calculation correct. It is not, I brought in $10, I spent 18. What do we have left? That's right, it is negative. Helping children understand that money comes from various sources as well. When it comes to the income is important, and spending on different needs and wants and really defining what that need and what that want is at a very younger age, again, can really fundamentally change a child's behaviors. Creating a visual budget. When you're a younger generation, when you're looking at even young adults, a visual budget, actually being able to see it, whether it is charts, whether it is piggy banks that record the coins that are in there, it can represent the income that they have and also the expenses. When they buy something, you can actually have a chart that is going to add when they get money for birthdays, for holidays, whatever it may be, guys. And then when they do spend that money, allowing them to spend that money really makes it tangible and makes it real in the children's state of mind. Now, number five, setting a savings goal. This again is something that is very, very cool. Now, in the credit union I work in, if a young individual comes in and does a deposit, they actually get toys. They get rewarded with toys, with games, with a lot of different things to, again, help them really understand the concept of saving money and also the delayed gratification of having the money in the bank and not spending every single penny they have. Now, also with this, number six, we can look at allocating spending categories. When you look at spending, when you look at savings, when you look at giving, you can really teach them, again, the fundamentals of their income and how it is allocated. If you're doing 50, 30, 20, I know that's going to look incredibly different when you have a minor or when you have a young adult. But ultimately, the fundamentals that you teach now as a younger individual is going to, again, take you through the entire adulthood, and they will look back and know exactly how and what to do when they do get their paycheck. Number seven, we look at decision making. This is very important, guys. You have to let them fail. As much as we want to see our kids succeed in every single aspect of life, you have to teach them about decision making, meaning that if I buy something today, chances are you cannot buy that tomorrow if you do not have that money. It's not really the want, spend category that we want to prioritize right here. It is what do you need versus what do you want? And again, the really unrealized loss of if you buy one thing, you're not going to have money for the other thing. Number eight, we look at including allowance and earnings. This is something, guys, again, when you look at age appropriate chores, if they do the chores, they get their allowance, they get their income, their earning, whatever you want to call it. If they do not do their chores, it is the exact same repercussion, guys. They're not going to get the allowance. They're not going to get the earning. They're not going to have the ability to spend. This creates a hands-on experience that reinforces the budgeting, and it also reinforces a work ethic for and at a very young age. Number 9, encourage tracking. This is again something that I do not see when I look at young adults, college kids, even when I look at a majority of grown adults. When I talk about a budget, when we have that conversation, probably about 1 out of every 50 people that I have a conversation with has a budget. And if they do have a budget, a lot of people do not keep up on their budget on a bi-weekly or a monthly basis, meaning that there is no tracking going on to where the money is coming in, what money is going out. Even when I ask a lot of individuals, what is the rate on your credit cards? How much are you making an hour, which should be a pretty easy one? How are you getting paid? How are you allocating your money? These, for a lot of people, seem like really tough questions because it is questions that they have never been asked. And again, if you're starting this fundamentally and foundationally at a very young age, when somebody gets their allowance, let's say you give them $3, you give them $5, whatever it may be, guys, allowing them to spend the money or save the money, it is going to be their decision. Depending, I don't want to force them to do it, but you also want them to encourage and go and make their own decisions. Now, number 10, guys, leading by example. This is one of the big things, guys. If you're sitting down as a family and reviewing your budget every single month, children often learn through observation, especially at a younger age. Modeling financial responsibility and actually taking the time to do it is crucial at this age because, again, this is the basis for the fundamental for the rest of their life. If they're savers, you will find out through a time, 10, 20, 30 years, that they are investors, that they are savers, that they are a lot more frugal when it comes to their money, and they know the value that it is when they do spend their money. Now, number 11, we talked about the family budget. You have to get children involved, guys. Usually, I mean, I would say early age, probably 12 to 14. This really provides them a broader perspective of financial decision making. It also gives them the ability to see where the money goes. When you have a paycheck, let's say you have one income or you have two incomes in the house, what does that look like? How much are you actually bringing home? Again, when I see a younger generation, they'll get their first paycheck. They don't understand what the taxes are because no one ever explained it to them. They don't understand the investment options because, again, nobody ever explained it to them. I've seen a lot of people that have come through orientation for different jobs with zero financial literacy about what is actually going on in the company, what they do with their paycheck, where it goes, even where it is direct deposited. A lot of places were actually just hooking people up with a prepaid debit card that they're paying for every single month versus getting a bank account versus getting direct deposit, things of that nature. And the last one, guys, is emphasizing the saving for the future. This is one of the big things, guys. When you look at future goals, when you look at education, a car, a senior trip, this is what the long-term planning really comes in. And again, if you set the groundwork fundamentally for having a savings mindset, when there is something important that comes up in life, they are already going to have the ability and they might even have the money there when it is time to purchase a car. The funds might already be there for a good chunk of a down payment. When it comes to paying for school, they might not have to take out as much student loans because, again, fundamentally, they've already been kind of prepping and saving money for that. Or again, a senior trip, something of that nature that is already entirely paid for. Even if you go to out of state colleges, you can cut down and have a budget that is already built in place, making sure that they have the saving mentality at a very young age. Sorry, guys. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I'll catch you in the next video.